Good evening and welcome to Deadliest Catch Recap. And what is today's date, Miss S?
Today is the 14th
of
July.
Yes, and we are not in our normal studio. We are in our second studio. And we will let you guys know exactly what's going on with our computer and about our show on Sunday. But first, right now, we got to talk about this past week of Deadliest Catch. Miss S, go ahead and talk to the folks at home about that episode.
Yes, it was a good episode. It started out with, again, an update on the Northwestern, and that one made it to port, which we were a little on the edge of our seat. Were they going to have enough power to get back to port so they could fix the panel? And luckily, they did. They made it back to port and waited two days for the parts to come in. Got the parts up and running. And Edgar is a wizard, I'll tell you. He is magic when it comes to putting those pieces together because it has to be difficult.
And before we go on, if Edgar was not on the boat at that time, that boat would have been down in the ocean.
I agree, yes.
So let's continue talking because a lot has happened with the Northwestern this past episode.
Yeah, well, they said that they had, because of all of the technical difficulties, they missed 2 weeks, 14 days out at sea, which is a lot of crab to miss. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, crab do not last 2 weeks in a boat.
In the crab pots, I mean, they would crawl out, they would die, they would start to be eaten. So I thought it was looking really grim. I did not see any chance for them to have any decent pots. So as it continued, they went out back to sea once everything was running again and start to pull things up. And I think this was the boat that they had a problem with the gear or the pulley system to pull the pots up. Was this the one? Was it the Northwestern? No, it wasn't this one. Okay.
Well, and we will get to that boat as well.
Well, the good news is when they did pull the pots up, they did have crab.
Yes.
And a lot of crab.
And they were in the 200 to 500, I think.
Which was, again, kind of amazing considering, I think, their biggest fear was those crab would be dead. And,
now on to the next boat, which is the Wizard.
Okay, yes, that's the Wizard. Monty is at the captain's chair with that one.
Yes, and I'll talk to you guys about the Wizard. I
think that's the one they were trying to...
Yeah, Captain Keith Corborn told his brother that he would just be there for two opportunities to try and catch the crab. But he couldn't find the crab himself either. So, Miss S, go ahead and tell them what the new captain did.
Well, Monty, I think, took a risk, and I think it paid off. He cast his pots in an area that no one had been to in a while. I think he said they were just deep, far off. And no one was around, and it was risky. So he cast in an area they had not done before. And so I think that was a little risky for them. And when they pulled them up, they again thought maybe there'll be 5, 6, 7 if they were lucky. And lo and behold, there were a lot of crab in that as well, in those pots. So I was really relieved for him because I really wanted them to do well, especially since his brother didn't do what he wanted to do before he, handed over the boat to Monty. So I was kind of relieved that there were a lot of crab. So he had a lot of good runs. Is that that's the Wizard. So
the next boat that we're going to talk about
was the Time Bandit.
Now the Time Bandit, I tell you, they had nothing but bad luck because last season of Deadliest Catch, which would have been the 11th season, one of their deckhands got injured. In fact, he got injured again this season because they were trying to get the pot ready to set. Well, they didn't quite make sure the door of the pot was all the way open. Karma. Watch out for that. Ms. S., go ahead and tell more about that.
That was something you really saw it coming quickly, and I couldn't look away in time because I really don't like to see that. The pot part of the door came crashing down on that young man's head, the wire part, and they say it's over 100 pounds.
Yes.
Smashing into his head.
In fact, he had a little cut on his head, and he had to go back out working. And I hope he didn't get a staph infection, because I know what those are like, thanks to my bone infection I had.
Yeah.
Those are not good, so
yeah.
They were crazy by putting on a hat and going back to work.
I know. But that's their life, right? I mean, they just get knocked down, get back up. It's all about the crab.
And tell them about the next boat.
The next boat was, which one was that? Oh, is that the
Brennan
one?
A.
Oh, that's right, the Brennan A. Was that the one where he had to fire someone?
Yes, last week he fired one of the crew members that was being a little jerk. And pretty much when you get one bad apple, I know you guys can't see me and I'm very sorry, but when you get one bad apple on a crab boat, it turns the rest of the crew morale to garbage. So yeah. But what happened this season?
Well, I know that they were running short. So instead of 5 out there on the deck, they had 4, and that makes it twice as hard to keep up with the crab pulling the pots in and unloading and all that. So I think he started a little kind of like a challenge to get them to not kind of mess around and really be accurate when they pulled the pots in. Was this the one where he made them eat part of the inside of a...
Yes.
I don't even... Tim, I gotta be honest. I think I might have looked away during part of that.
That was because see, in the note that I took is to see who's the better fisherman, because that's might as well what they were doing.
Exactly.
Because if they miss the pot, they have to eat whatever that was. And tell you the truth, I don't know exactly what that was.
It's the inside of some kind of fish.
And I tell you, that's disgusting.
When I think, commercial, let's have one here.
Right. So what else do the folks...
Well, I know that, at the end, they always do a recap of who's in the lead as far as the crab count. And I'll tell you, the Northwestern is still holding strong. They have a lot. They have the most crab right now.
Yes.
By a lot. So even with that fire, even with missing 14 days out there, they are able to just, maintain their lead, and which is kind of impressive.
And I want to thank Miss S for coming on short notice because of everything.
Yeah, technical difficulties. That happens.
Yeah, and make sure you go to Tim's Weather Center News, Arizona.com. I want to thank you all for joining us for Deadliest Catch Recap on today's date,
the 14th.
And I will be back, and actually, let's talk about Sunday's show. We are still going to try and be live this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. So thank you all for the support, and we will see you Sunday at 2:30.
All right. See you later.